Is the market crashing? What does the data have to say about it? And what do I think about it? We will dive into all of this in this video today. If we haven't met before, my name is Christa Nielsen with Real Broker, and welcome to my channel. Before we get into today's topic, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you're thinking about moving to the area or anywhere in California, send us a text message at the number below. If you want to reach us via email, go ahead and contact us at info@ChristaNielsenGroup.com. We would love to help you in your search. There's been some interesting things happening in our market in San Jose, California. The changes from 2020 all the way to 2022 have been very impactful in our market today. There are higher interest rates, which is, of course, the elephant in the room. What can you do about that? We'll talk about that a little bit more in this video. Now, the changes to interest rates are absolutely affecting affordability in our area. Prices are already known to be somewhat astronomical. So interest rates are really not helping the affordability for the general buyer. Now let's talk about where Californians are actually moving to. We hear a lot of the mass exodus, the great exodus of California. So where are people relocating to? The top 5 cities that people are moving to are Seattle, Washington, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona. This absolutely goes to show what the impact is on California buyers because they are relocating to different areas. And this isn't just about people that are selling a home and relocating. This is based on data for moving companies. So someone could be renting, deciding that this isn't an affordable area anymore, and relocating to a new metro. I don't make up a whole idea of what they should believe. I use data to support what we see now and what may happen in the future. Now, instead of looking at year-over-year changes, I also want us to look at just a couple months ago in June 2022 versus now, September 2022. Now, some markets saw peaks last year in 2021. We saw our peaks right around late spring and early summer were probably the height of the pricing in the market. So in June in San Jose, California, the average price point, selling price point was $1,469,000, whereas September again was $1,317,000. So we are seeing a correction. As scary and as doom and gloom as this kind of sounds, this is also an opportunity. And look, I know everyone says it's an opportunity, especially if they're a realtor or especially if they're in the financial side of things. But hear me out. 6 months ago, you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, you had to go in and write an offer at your best and final, no contingencies in place, basically living on hopes and prayers that your offer would get accepted, and it was likely to be at least 2 to 3% higher than the last comp that just sold. This was a volatile, really scary, high-risk market. Now we are seeing more negotiations, more seller credits, and prices softening a little bit. So that is the opportunity that I'm talking about. And one other thing that I would mention is homes that are priced correctly and marketed well are still selling much faster and at a higher percentage over list price than someone else that has outrageous expectations of what their home's going to go for. They think it should still be higher than their neighbors that sold in May or June. And we are seeing more sellers become more realistic, and that will level out the market. So speaking of which, let's go into days on market. So days on market is essentially when the house goes on the market for sale until it goes into contract. If it falls out of contract, those days on market start accumulating again. So days on market 1 year ago in September, we had 15 on average. So that meant roughly 2 weeks from the time your house went on the market to accepting an offer. Now in San Jose, we are seeing 28 days, so nearly double. But I want to urge you to look at data even before that, because the days on market of 28 is actually incredibly normal. 30 to 35 days on market is what we saw at the end of 2019, very beginning of 2020 before the pandemic, and years before that. Again, very, very normal numbers. You can sell your house in 30 days. You should probably be celebrating a little bit. Now, this next number is a little bit shocking, so stick with me here. We are looking at how many homes sold above list price in San Jose in the month of September of this year. So 37% of homes still sold above list price. And we're seeing on average that homes are selling for 101% of that list price. So the price they sell for is 101% of what they go on the market for. Now, if we look back a year before, this is when you start seeing some interesting stuff. 73% of homes were selling above list price in September 2021. Now, if that doesn't tell you that something scary was happening in the market and we were fully in inflation mode, I don't know what else I could show you in data, because this is the number that we are focused on. I would also like to point out that San Jose is notorious for underpricing homes. People were selling or listing homes for about $200,000 to $300,000 below what they anticipated them going to. It was a crazy time. I actually hope we never go back to that. Okay, so we already talked a little bit about how many homes are actively on the market. So to recap, last year, September 21, there were 705 homes on the market. This year, September 2022, we had 842 current listings on the market. But let's back up to only June of this year, and we had over 1,000 homes on the market. So this is seasonal. I wouldn't say that this is something to be overly concerned about. It's very normal to have less homes on the market going into fall and then also early winter versus the spring summer market. 300 less, this is definitely affecting things. Sellers have absolutely pulled back a little bit on wanting to sell their houses, and buyers aren't as aggressive on snatching up every home that comes out. So everyone's least favorite topic is, of course, interest rates right now. So what do interest rates actually mean in reference to affordability in San Jose or anywhere really? So in 2021 and halfway through 2022, we had pretty healthy interest rates. I mean, the lowest was about 2.5, 2.75. I don't think we're ever going back to those numbers, but average 2 to 4%, let's say. Very healthy interest rates. However, the demand was so high on individual homes that people were overspending compared to what the market value was. So if you flip-flop that, and you take the market value being fair or slightly below where you should be spending on a home, and then you have slightly increased interest rates, which right now I would say they're more than slightly, we're in the 6.5, 6.75% range, you end up evening out a little bit. I would challenge you to speak with your financial advisor or speak with your lender and run the numbers hypothetically from this time last year versus this time now and see how it actually affects your monthly payment. What I mean by this is basically it ends up balancing itself out. And I hate the term marry the house, date the rate. It's the worst term in the entire world. But I will say that the house price is permanent. However, the interest rate, you can always refinance later down the line. Now, experts are saying that we should anticipate interest rates increasing for about the next 12 months. That may change. There's no way of knowing 100% for sure. But once those rates start coming down, you'll be able to refinance and also decrease your monthly mortgage payment. I still always advise that you 100% buy within your means and within your comfort zone. There are still opportunities out there for a seller credit. A seller credit can buy down that interest rate by a point or a half a point, and it allows you to still have a lower interest rate than the market norm. Is the San Jose market crashing? All the data points point to no. However, we are absolutely seeing a cooling off in our market. With all of that said, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you are thinking about moving to California, definitely connect with me and my team. Once again, my name is Christa Nielsen with Real Broker, and I will see you soon.